Ho ho ho! Happy holidays everyone! We are in the Christmas mode. It is time to kick into the holiday season. We say goodbye to Vice Night or Tech Night, whatever I called the theme, and now we kick it into the holiday vibe. And I got a bag of news that's gonna make you either have a nice lump of coal or some gifts, but we're gonna focus on Google today, and in particular, the Pixel 7a. Let's get it going. Now, real quickly, before we start the video, I just want to tell you guys that if you're watching this now and you're a subscriber, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Please stay till the end of the video because I will have to address some things in regards to the show next year. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's begin with the first story. So the first story, the main story of the day, the Google Pixel 7a. Now, as you know, we've covered many of the Pixels and you pretty much know where I stand with Google if you've watched me for the long run. But I will admit, they do make a very solid smartphone, and the 6a was my first ever Pixel device, at least that I've owned. I have used the Pixel 3a and the 4a, but those were given to me by a friend. Shout out to Sneed. But it's good to finally see how well they've made a product, and to see them to continue to evolve it gets even better. Because now we're hearing reports that according to the schematics and according to the rumor mill, it seems that the 7a is going to basically be what the 6a was, but it is going to improve in several key areas. One of the biggest areas that was the draw of many criticisms, including myself and others, but then after I used it I said, wasn't bad. It's the display. The display is going to finally be 90 Hertz. It is going to be a smooth experience, and it will also feature a 1080p display with the 90 Hertz. Now, a lot of you probably may not be happy about that, but considering this is a mid-range device that acts like a flagship, I think we can let that go. We're also hearing reports that it will also be getting the Tensor 2 chip, that it will be just like what it did last year, as it will release more towards the Pixel 8's launch. And then lastly, to round it off, it is also going to get a huge camera upgrade by it will be upgrading the sensor to a Sony IPX, I believe. I'll leave the link in the description. I don't have it off the top of my head. But essentially, the sensor will be a lot bigger, and it will also have higher megapixel rate, so that way you can get better image quality for such a cheap price. And lastly, it will also come with a new revamped quick charging system. So taking all that we're hearing right now about the 7a, plus the display and others, it does sound like a well-polished mid-range that is on the level of a flagship. There are reports saying that it is potentially going to get wireless charging. There are some reports saying that we could see wireless charging make its way over. However, some reports are also saying that they want to hold that feature, as that is something that the 7 Pro, and the other Pro models have been able to do. But it does seem that they want to get it to more users, and honestly speaking, wireless charging, itself, isn't expensive to put into a phone anyway. So the fact that they're using that as a reason to get the 7 and 7 Pro and other models, it's beyond me. But to round it off, I do actually like what I'm hearing about this phone. I do really appreciate Google taking what they always do. This is what Google does, but they do it in a way where it works perfectly for them. They take the formula of what works and what doesn't work. They remove all that doesn't work and take what works and expands on it and tries new things. While I have my, beef with Google in certain areas, Tito for Team Pixel, I will say that I have to give them credit where credit is due. And in this situation, I do have to give them credit. They are trying, they are doing the best that they can, and the fact that they're giving more for the mid-range area versus the Pro models and the regular model, it does show that they do care for all of the market share that they can grab. And now seeing that they're starting to pick up market share, now's the time to keep striking while the iron's hot. So I will definitely be updating you guys as we hear more about the 7a and also even the 8 and 8 Pro once we get closer. So definitely subscribe and turn on notifications, because when these videos drop, you're not gonna wanna miss it, guys. But anyway, now that we've talked about the Pixel 7a, let's move on over to Apple. Alrighty, story number 2, let's talk about the 14 and 16 inch MacBook Pros. Now, it has been noted that the 14 and 16 inch is not going to be a significant upgrade in terms of performance and in terms of capability. It's essentially just going to be like the iPad Pro M2 chip model. And how Apple's gonna sell it, we'll have to wait and see. But now we're hearing, according to reports, that the chipsets are going to be delayed and that it's potentially going to be delayed for next year. Now, we don't have an exact number of next year, but reports are saying that it will most likely be released now more towards November of next year instead of March. We don't have any solidified information to back that claim up, but according to some reliable sources in Mark Gurman and Ming-Chi Kuo, one of the main reasons for this delay is also the same reason for the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, and that is the things going on at Foxconn right now with the whole thing in China, which we're just gonna kind of try not to tread in that direction because YouTube likes to censor your videos. So all I can say on the situation is I will update, I will give as much as I can, but all I can say on this topic, truthfully speaking, and I'm being honest, Apple really shouldn't be putting in CPUs just one after the other. They should wait, personally. Maybe do a 2-year cycle instead of an every year cycle, especially for MacBooks. You don't need it for iPad Pros. You don't need it for iPads in general. You definitely don't even need it for MacBooks. So why do they want to keep doing year to year upgrades is beyond me. However, I will say I get the philosophy behind it. You do want to put the latest and greatest, but to make events out of it, to try to hype it up, it just doesn't work. So I'd be completely happy if the M1 Pro was around for 2 years and then they did the M2 Pro and Pro Max. That's just my opinion, but if you disagree with it, you're more than welcome to disagree. Now let's talk about the VR glasses. And last story, the final story of today, let's talk about the Apple VR headset. Now, we've been hearing that these VR headsets are getting closer and closer as we were going to hear something about it in the first quarter of 2023. Well, now according to Ming-Chi Kuo, it seems that that's not going to be the case. According to Ming-Chi Kuo, it seems that Apple is going to push the VR headset release to the second quarter of 2023. While they will still unveil it and they will still talk about it, it won't go on sale until the second quarter of 23. And the main reason for this delay is not because of any chip shortage, not because of any manufacturing issues, it is coming down to the software. It seems that there is a lot of issues with this software in interacting with the glasses, the goggles, whatever this thing is. And it seems that Apple just kind of wants to perfect it more. They just want to work on it before they release it. So they're deciding to push this product to now the second quarter. Here's my thing though. If Apple focuses this heavily on a product like this, where's the same ingenuity for AirPower? I understand that that product got scrapped. I understand that they're never going back to it because they have MagSafe. But considering the fact that your AirPods have Apple Watch charge capabilities, MagSafe capabilities, Qi charging capabilities just built into the case, also the fact that the original AirPower design had no cooling of any kind, it was just a big array that was supposed to work. You could place your Apple Watch there, and why not take that same level of integrity to try to do that with that? I just wanted to put that in the side piece, but just really to round off to say on this last story, we'll have to wait and see when the goggles come out. We'll have to wait and see what they're gonna be, but it does seem that they wanna fix the software, and you know what? More time the better, because this product's gonna be expensive anyway at launch, so not many people are gonna buy it, but that's to be expected because they're already working on a cheaper model. They just gotta get the expensive one first, and then they'll tool it from there. So just wanted to talk about that. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. Now guys, before we end the video, I do have to make an announcement about next year's show. So anyway guys, we are currently in a little bit of a situation as we are having some struggles trying to revamp the theme for next year's show. So as a result, because of the lack of time and also we're gonna need more time, I am going to put the revamp on delay indefinitely. I will be writing out the Cyber Night theme, the red theme that we've had. I'm gonna write it out for a little bit more, but then once we get the redesign going, once we start doing the new theme, the new colors, the new intro, all that, then I will begin the transition, and from there, we'll take it there. But guys, I just wanted to bring that out, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you enjoyed everything that I've been doing so far. Again, guys, we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. I want to get to it before the end of the year. It's not looking like that, but We can try to make a big push. I hope you guys are there. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and